Welcome back to Managing Log File Growth. As you can see, the transaction log growth is completed that we started in the previous video. So let's go ahead and run the DBCC log info again and see how many VLFs we've created. As you can see, we've got 18 VLFs now, so we've added 16 more to the system. There's always those base 2 there. So as transactions now run, they'll now be written into these much larger, more appropriately sized virtual log files, giving us better performance. Now, if we have a lot of really small transaction log files, this can also impact our insert, update, and delete performance as well, because SQL Server needs to be allocating new VLFs and making status changes to them as it goes through the process of writing the data to the virtual log files and to the transaction log in general. So some ways that you can help manage log space usage. First thing, use smaller transactions. The smaller the transactions we have, the better. This will cause less locking, less blocking, and less long-running queries. It means shorter, smaller transactions within the transaction log. This means that every time we back up the transaction log, we'll be able to flush the data out and overwrite those VLFs much quicker. If you're seeing a lot of problems with your transaction log growing fairly regularly, first, pre-size it to the appropriate size. Secondly, configure your backups to happen more frequently. You want your transaction log backups to run as often as you can to reduce the amount of data in each backup so that the amount of data potentially lost in the event of a failure is minimized. So in summary, your transaction log is going to grow due to long-running transactions or log backups that either aren't running or aren't running often enough. If they're not running, configure them. If they're not running often enough, configure them to run more often. A lot of my clients have their transaction logs running as frequently as 12 or 15 minutes. Some clients are even considering going to transaction log backups happening every minute or two because they really need to minimize the potential loss of data in the event of a major catastrophic system failure.